The freeloading ends today. My husband declared it right after his promotion, announcing that from now on we'd have separate bank accounts. I agreed, and then on Sunday his sister came for dinner. She looked at the table, looked at me and said, "About time he stopped. The freeloading ends today." My husband said that right after he got promoted. His voice was decisive. Like he was announcing a new policy in a boardroom, not speaking to the wife he'd lived with for 6 years. We would separate our bank accounts. Financial independence, clear lines, fairness. I nodded, no objections, no follow-up questions, and 3 weeks later he regretted it. Welcome to my channel where I share new everyday life stories here every day. And I truly appreciate it if you'd hit subscribe and like this video. Now let's continue the story. Thursday night, the kitchen was filled with the smell of rosemary. I stood at the stove stirring the risotto in slow, steady circles. When Marcus walked in, I didn't turn around right away. I knew that look, the look of someone who's practiced saying something unpleasant in the mirror, convinced himself it was reasonable, even strong. His leather shoes clicked against the hardwood floor, each step evenly spaced like a countdown. I kept stirring. "Elena, we need to talk." Marcus, I turned off the stove and faced him. He was still in his work clothes, the dark gray suit he bought to celebrate the new position, price high enough to cover a month of groceries for our family. His hair was slicked neatly into place, rigid, the hairstyle of a man preparing for a battle he was certain he'd win. Maybe he really was preparing to fight. "Yeah," I said just one word. Because ID learned that sometimes the most powerful thing you can do is let someone else fill the silence with their own lack. Marcus said, his leather briefcase on the table. The expensive one his mother bought him, not the one I'd suggested because it was more practical. "I got promoted," he said, even though I'd known for 3 hours already. He texted me a string of celebration emojis that looked more like a victory dance than an invitation to share his happiness. "Congratulations," I said, and I meant it. I was never the kind of person who resented a partner's success. What I hated was what changed after they succeeded. "It comes with a significant raise," he continued. And then I heard it, the shift in his voice, the meeting room voice, the voice of someone reading from a proposal. "So our financial situation is going to have to change." I leaned back against the counter, folded my arms and waited. "I've been thinking," Marcus said, and I could hear his mother's voice forming in his mouth. I could hear Victoria as clearly as if she were standing behind him with a hand on his back, speaking through him. "The way we use a joint account, it's not appropriate anymore." "Which way?" I asked, even though I knew all too well. "The freeloading," he said. The word hung in the air like smoke from a fire you haven't found the source of yet. Freeloading. As if everything I contributed was parasitic. As if my job as a teacher and the extra tutoring hours I took on to bring in more income, while still running the entire